18. Okay. How about the others?
I think Soma doesn't speak the language at all of these creatures, so I think she will try to just use perception to see if something catches her eye.
Perception. Okay. Yeah, go for it. Okay. And how about Lucca?
I guess Lucca is probably most curious about the bouncer.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe an aberrations check.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, so we have 12, 18, 20. Okay, let me just figure out what kind of DCs I would post on these things. While I do that, I also need to look up the actual numbers here. Okay. Oh, wow. Well, I guess as you grow in level. Okay. Well, you may spend an afternoon carousing with this band of misfits here. The Zolgath, the what turns out to be a Duergar, which is a deep. Is it a deep dwarf? I think it's a deep dwarf, right? Yeah, yeah. So actually, they are now called Heringar.
Yeah.
So you learn that that's what she is. Then the Zulgath, formerly known as lizard folk, or maybe
I think that was troglodytes or something like that.
oh, troglodytes. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, you're right because they have that stench, which is the troglodytes. And the lutenist turns out to be a Caligny, which if you know chatting a little bit, you learn that basically all of them. Oh, right, and then there's the somewhat obvious rat folk front singer. And you learn that they've all kind of come here from below. So they all have made their way here from the Darklands. And similarly, you would hear the same things from the Morlocks, that they've all arrived here from some access. You can't really figure out exactly the path that they took, but apparently this place is connected to the Darklands, which first of all means that this place must go down a lot further even than it has gone so far. And it also means that this might just be, or that this is actually connected to a much larger labyrinth, maybe of places. The reason why they've come, though, is somewhat unclear, given your skill checks as well. I mean, some of the Morlocks mention like you get like some sense of excitement. They're waiting for something. They say things like they're waiting to be improved, or like to be made better. And you get that they're all very much in awe of the large spider hybrid thing. But even Lucca, you fail to really figure out what this thing is. Like it, I mean, aberrations are obviously hard to like to find any systematic approach to them, but you feel like this doesn't really fit any mold of an aberration that you're familiar with, and you have a hard time figuring out what exactly it is. But all the Morlocks seem to be just very much impressed by it and almost it have lots of admiration for this creature. Let's see what else. Okay, so the party's or the party gets pretty wild over the afternoon. The spider-like creature, whose name is Lalizangs, um, again is supposed to be the bouncer, but seems to care quite little about what happens. So really only um, when the Morlocks get really wild, Lalizangs steps in and um, you know tries to restore some order, but it's not really running a tight ship around here. You also hear mention of another creature named Viscari, who is ostensibly in charge of this whole place. Um, and if I haven't already mentioned that, but also every now and then people refer to Jafaki, and they're waiting for Jafaki to see them. And that's pretty much what you remember the next morning when you wake up. Yep.
Could Lucca have asked any follow-up questions regarding Jafaki?
Of what kind? Like, what did you have in mind?
Like, who is he? What's his deal? Like, where is he? What would it take to see him? Something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So try a diplomacy roll then. Let's see how that works. Or intimidate if you want to go down that road. But... Okay. So that is a reasonable success. You learn that Jafaki operates somewhere nearby. So you learn that people leave the tavern through the southern door, and let me see if that's correct. Hold on, sorry, I don't want to feed you wrong information. No, they leave through the western door. Yes. So they're taken by another creature, which sounds a lot like Lilizanx, based on the description. They're picked up by that creature and then led down out the tavern and then somewhere. No one has ever seen anyone come back, but that does not discourage them from desperately wanting to undergo Shafaki's treatment of some kind. That's what you also get. Like that's what they're all after. It seems to be pretty random who Jafaki picks. They don't really know. They're just saying like they're just kind of waiting around until that creature shows up and picks the next one from whoever's present. So they all just kind of spend their time there trying to be there whenever it happens the next time. All right. So memories from this, like I said, probably weirdest party you've ever been to, are still going through your probably pretty achy heads the next morning. As Ottardo slams open the door to the Crook's Nook, where I would imagine you're all gathering again in the morning for some breakfast.
Yes,
And
our
Ottardo...
leader is back.
Yeah. So, Ottardo, you find your friends gathered around around a breakfast table. Birke isn't here, but you know that Birke has been pretty involved with the Dawnflower Library and the renovations there, or the repair work. And your friends look pretty beat, but you don't see any real physical damage to them. Still, they seem to be in great pain, or some of them, and wincing as they consume their breakfast.
Uh, more abominations, I assume?
Like someone like will turn her bloodshot eyes to him, saying you better not know about that. But we slayed them. Like, I mean, I was on fire again.
Yeah, that does sound about right. Who was it? Who was it that you slayed?
Oh
Yeah,
man,
malice.
yeah, that it was malice of shadows, and now I remember that. And someone like, bonks your head into the toward the not the bar stool. I think above the bar stool. Bar.
A bar?
It was, shall we say, I don't, not quite sure I know what all of the rest of you are on about. I found it rather invigorating. Then again, I didn't try to drink any of that stuff that they pushed on us afterwards, so I'm not entirely sure.
You've had drinks down there?
Yeah, it was a bar. It was really weird. I still don't quite understand it.
Okay, my constitution can take it. I drank worse back home.
Wait, this was in the under the lighthouse where we go
Yeah,
with the monsters and everything?
Yes.
exactly. That was my thought too.
Yes, we partied with the monsters.
Huh.
It was a sort of monster mash.
Well, that is surprising.
Yes, all sorts of surprising things happen when you're not ready to righteously cut down everything that stands before you.
He doesn't like that you're the leader, Ottardo. It makes
Me,
him
that
very angry.
I'm not. I don't think we ever spoke about the leader.
Oh yeah, it was kind of just implied by your presence.
What's the leader? Who are you talking about? I was the leader from the beginning. What? My mom is the boss in the Viraka, so I'm the princess. Princess are the leader.
Princess.
Wait, did you just say you're a princess?
Huh? Well,
Did you
not literally,
you-
but technically, yeah.
Wait, technically, but not literally. I don't
Yeah,
understand.
isn't technically literally?
It's contradictory. So, Souma Iron-Tongue, are you not a princess?
Someone makes like a titanic effort of will to gather her thoughts and and look up her own backstory for a moment. Like say, like once her eyesight clears and focuses on you, she's like, well, I mean, my mom is Souma Iron-Tongue. She's the lore master of Birke. So, I mean, okay, she's not the leader of the town. She's important, okay?
Okay. So you're like royalty.
No, we don't do that back there.
Oh.
But I mean, Aviraka is way to the north in the lands of the Linorn kings. You have to kill a dragon to become a royalty there.
Do you
Oh,
have like a title we should call you?
No, I mean,
Princess Souma.
what? No, stop it!
Princess.
This is embarrassing.
Yes. Well, I, for one, am glad I did not make any embarrassing revelations last night. Anyway, let's see. We made friends with the monsters, and learned quite some interesting things about the tavern. It does seem to be rather a hub for the Morlocks, or are they still called Morlocks? I guess so. And various other Darklands critters that have come filtering up from the greater depths. It seems that our quarry in the form of one Jafaki is near at hand there. Perhaps we can finally intercept this man, or whatever he is. And, I don't know, kill him, I suppose.
Otherwise,
Can you remind me? Can you remind me out of game what was offered to us in exchange for killing Jafaki?
I think it's just a favor that we promised to the mummy. He also promised us to give the password to that deadly corridor. He promised us anything else, I don't know.
There might have been, some, I don't know. Yeah, he's got lots of ancient stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who knows a lot about the place? I feel like it'd be good to have him on our good side, you know? Or to be on his good side, I mean. He's a chief lieutenant, I think, of Belcora's. You know, you could get a first-hand account of all of her evil deeds, you know? Gather evidence to build your case.
Okay, well, do you have any plans for today?
I think we'd do best if we picked up where we left off. We ought to head through that western door and seek out Jafaki. Unless
Yeah,
you
'cause
all would rather. There are other doors to explore on the level above. Still one corridor we haven't delved.
I think we're on a bit of a time crunch with Jafaki, right? Because once he leaves, I
Yes,
don't think we can collect on our reward.
yes. The old whatever his name is keeps threatening depart imminently, but he hasn't managed to do so yet in the last 3 days. So. But yes, I agree. I think 'tis. We should strike while the iron is hot. The legend of Ottardo must be capitalized upon.
Notardo? What is that?
Nothing.
Uh,
It was the band name that Lucca chose.
no, it's nothing you need. It's a word in Sackroth.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh, well,
Which is the language of the under people. The Darklands.
okay.
Well, should we go?
All right. So you get up, maybe with an occasional grunt.
Just
And
before that,
Mhm.
Simon, do you know if um, the package Ottardo ordered from Arthur would be ready, or when would it be ready?
Where is our calendar? Um, Well, if you check Galentine deliveries, nothing has come in yet.
Okay.
All those notes of Sir Ottardo almost died. It's just pretty accurate. Okay. So you head on out. Did I give you XP for the Battle of the Bands? And I could go
Not
back and
entirely sure.
check the tapes, but do you remember getting XP?
Well, we could compare ours to Sam's.
That's right.
I got
I think
402,
mine is at 322.
so you must have then, right?
Wait,
Uh,
you've got what?
Me?
For okay.
Yeah. Oh wow, I missed some then. I've got 342.
A 4-2 seems right.
Okay.
But I think
But
I think you had the 80 from one of the encounters before I got to the part with the band.
yes, I believe that's right.
Okay.
So there should be another 110. And Ottardo, you can just catch up, and Lucca, you too, if you don't have that on your sheet yet, because I
So
don't
it's-
want people to have separate XP. That's just going
So
to be a
should-
headache.
There should be 512 then.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, heading back to the Gauntlight. Where do you want to go? Which level?
512 for XP total for everyone.
What's that?
I missed the moment. You mean 512 XP for everyone now, right?
That should be your current XP. Yes, 512.
Okay, notice.
It sounds like we should pick up where we left off so that we can hunt down this Jafaki.
Okay, so do you want to take the same path through the room with the poltergeist, and then down the stairs with all the trash to the tavern?
I guess, because we haven't found any
Yeah,
other way down there.
Unless the poltergeists are put up there again.
Nah, they're
Well,
gone.
that's only one way to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the poltergeists indeed have been successfully banned, it appears, and they do not show up again. So let me place your tokens in here, and then I'll move us over and center. All right, and for Ottardo, it is quite surprising to find this place so deep below the otherwise ruined structure. The tables are polished. There's chairs. There's a long wooden bar that clearly marks it as some kind of tavern. Smell of spilled beer and fried morsels is hanging in the room. In the southeast corner, there's a stage that overlooks the seating. Currently, Shadow Malice is playing some uh, some low key background music for the early or late morning. A couple of Morlocks are hanging around. They probably the same crowd from the day before. You don't see anyone that seems completely new to you, even though it's maybe a little difficult to tell for anyone but Augrael. And the bouncer, as you step in, just kind of maybe if Ottardo is taking the lead again, which he usually does, and steps into the room first, the bouncer immediately like moves his monstrous mandibles or whatever they are in a sort of threatening fashion and brings his glaive around. But then, as the rest of the group steps up behind him, the crowd, someone in the crowd recognizes you and goes, "Ottardo, you're back! Are we gonna get an encore?" Um, all of that in sackfroth, of course. So Ottardo, you or Soma, you wouldn't understand. But you at least hear that the word "Notardo" in the address, and the bouncer clearly relaxes a little bit as he does so. He steps back, and yeah, everyone looks at you expectantly.
Um, yeah, yeah. I imagine just before we came in here, Lucca would have turned to Tartar and be like, "Oh, listen, you're going to have to get cool with a lot of things really fast. Uh, like, just follow our lead, okay?"
Be cool.
But yeah, I guess Lucca would speak up and say, "Oh, fortunately, we don't have time for an encore right now. Perhaps later. But we're just off to maybe. I mean, these people are all waiting for Jafaki, so I feel like I don't want to be like, we're gonna go see Jafaki. Um, we're just headed off. Could you remind me again what's through all these other doors? Since apparently you told us what's through the western door.
Yeah, although the Morlocks didn't know what's through the western door. Whenever there's none of them have been here when somebody else was picked. They only kind of repeat the stories that they have been told by others.
Mm-hmm.
And all they know is that this connects to some kind of hallway that they then gonna leave by, and before they can see where they go, the doors are closed again. But it has been made clear that like these doors are you're supposed to be led through them by Jafaki's assistant or whoever that is. The other doors here behind the bar, they are employees only. And then there's one door by the stage, which is probably backstage. And then there's one door leading to the south, which appears to be less restricted access.
Luca quickly turns to the others and is like, maybe we should take a more roundabout approach, because if we try to go straight at Jafaki, I get the sense we might ruffle some feathers. So perhaps to the south?
Well,
Do we care about ruffling feathers?
yeah, especially with. We should avoid ruining our new reputation.
And look, if it doesn't go anywhere, we can always make up some bullshit. And then be like, oh, I have to go see Jafaki, but let's scout a little, perhaps.
Okay, I'll follow you. I mean, I'll follow Ottardo.
No, you already said it. You can't take that back.
Does Ottardo hear any common among the patrons?
Hear any comment?
Common, the language.
Comment? No. They're all speaking what you must assume is sackfroth.
Okay, then he'll say to Lucca, "Don't know what you're so worried about. It's just mostly humanoids in here."
Right. He's gonna open the door and just keep going. Oh
Uh,
fuck! Stairs.
and you our old enemy. You hear from the Morlocks in the crowd, like some of them are like a little disappointed and to make some disappointed moans. But Shadow Malice apparently is not too upset that you're leaving and just kind of switches to a little more upbeat song, and the crowd is quickly turning their attention to Shadow Malice. Yeah, and you get to leave through that door. No one's going to stop you from going down there.
Yeah, no one's gonna stop us. I like that attitude.
It's some.
Ah, for the love of.
And there's a strange, long chamber, which is kind of like rounded on both ends with a door to the north, obviously, which you're coming through. And then just a curved wall of transparent stone to the south. There's a faint stink that wafts from an exit in the western wall.
Can we see what I think we can see through the transparent stone?
Yes, you indeed can see through the transparent stone into, and it's really just looking through it. It's not like in that other room where it was the kind of like recorded footage from a different perspective. This seems to be truly just a transparent wall, and you're looking into the arena. And as you're stepping up closer, and it comes into your field of vision, you'll see that enormous behemoth, kind of like heaped in a corner of the arena, still apparently oblivious of anyone around it.
Someone will conjure her instrument just in case. Well, we're probably not going to bother that thing, so. And, and there is only one door I see. Right? Things are doors.
These things, no, this is just walls. But that does remind me that we have Augrael who is constantly searching. So Augrael, can you give me 4 blind perception checks for searching?
Yeah.
And I'll
Yeah.
use them as appropriate. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, so as you, I mean, all of you, like I said, there's this stink that is coming from that door up there. But Augrael, you notice another slight draft from a secret door over here.
Look, a secret door. Those always lead to good things, right?
Of course. When was the last time a secret door had stabbed us in the back? Uh, oh,
So, what do you do?
Did you open it, Karna? So you said.
Yeah, you open it.
Oh,
I'm,
I'll open
I'm
it.
providing backup.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said I open it. Yeah, I'll open it.
All right. You pop it open, and there's another hallway with a couple of steps leading. I really should have said which one is up and which one is down. I think it just takes you a couple of steps up. And it ends in what is clearly another secret door, but from this side, it's very obvious to see it. Might be more well hidden from the other end.
Oh, it's a dead end. Just kidding.
Hmm.
And he'll open it.
And there you are. You're entering another complex of hallways. You see a door straight ahead. You see like a table with a chair right next to you. Hold on. But there's also the transparent stone that runs along the edge of this. Hold on here. And you recognize beyond the transparent stone, slightly lower than what you're standing on, the chamber where you fought that creature that was smashing crystal with its sonic energy waves. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so basically now you're standing on some kind of balcony, if you will, that surrounds this, or a gallery, with that thick line here being the transparent stone.
Was this
And
where I
as you
saw the thing like taking like notes, like writing stuff down?
Yeah, and not just that, as you step in from that, you should be able to see that from that corridor here, which is only 5 feet wide, that thing that you had been that you saw starts like it is in there in that narrow corridor, and as you step in, it immediately notices you, and it starts squeezing through that narrow hallway, being large in size. That's not very easy for it, but it is starting to make its way towards you. So let's start do some initiative here.
Cool.
Okay, can I add you all to an encounter? Yep, you're in here. I'll add my thing, and then I will just roll for all of us. And we can begin with the thing, as a matter of fact. So just as a reminder, what it looks like, it is somewhat snake-like, but then it also has these very many tiny little legs. Its head is hardly recognizable as such, but it does seem to have powerful jaws, and you see teeth. And it is pretty reasonably quickly making its way through that narrow corridor. So that's double movement for it. So it's 2, 4, 6. As its first action, and then as its second action, it let's see. Yeah. Yes. And as it does so, no, that's sorry. There we are. Okay. And still being wedged into, or awkwardly wedged into this hallway, it decides to cast a spell to attack you, and you for a moment there you see the chair wiggle next to that table, and then it comes shooting towards you.
Oh boy.
Oops. So I should be able to just target you and then attack. 33, that should hit. And Cheliax just kind of smashes against you for 14 points of damage. But then
Ow.
that was 3 actions for it, and then it's your turn.
Ottardo's turn.
Nope, sorry, yep, that's Ottardo.
Okay. Well, Ottardo saw Augrael take a hit from something. He is going to raise his shield. Then he will stride. Oh, we don't see the measurement thingy anymore.
Yeah, that's
Return
because
the-
it was not compatible with the new version of Foundry.
Ah, okay. Okay. And he can see the creature there. For his last action, he is going to um, sorry, I'm seeing a weird thing here. He's going to try to enter his stance.
Okay.
But why does he not get a bonus from intimidating prowess? Let me just double check that quickly. No, it's strange. He should be getting a +1. The automation doesn't.
What are you talking about?
Ottardo has intimidating prowess,
Okay.
which says that in situations where you can physically menace the target, when you coerce or demoralize, you gain a +1 circumstance bonus. And there is a little on-off thingy for intimidating prowess, but it says it's a +0.
Okay. Well, it's a circumstance bonus. Do you already have another one?
Nope, that's the thing. I'll just add the flat +1
Yeah.
there, and he will grab his hammer with determination and fail to enter his stance, and that's his turn.
Oh, okay. So, caught on the wrong foot here. Soma.
Since something actually act Augrael will being inspire defense. I think I will try to make ring right away. Position. Be enough if you make it last 3 months. And then we right in. Right. Okay, still squeezing in there. And I don't have any left, so
All right. Okay.
Yeah, Lucca will step forward, see what all the fuss is about. Realize that his companions have forced him into a situation where he has to take the lead. He has to step forward. Let's see, that was 10 or 5, 10, 15. And he doesn't like this thing coming forward casting spells. So it was a move. He's gonna try to recall knowledge. I don't think we got the chance to do that last time, so he's like trying to figure out what the hell this thing is.
Mm-hmm. Give me an occultism.
Give you all of them. Okay, let's see. Arcana, occultism, religion.
Which
That's
is insane.
okay.
This is where
I
all of them.
really only need the occultism.
Aberrations?
Aberration lore. Yep, go for it.
Oh, I didn't. Sorry, I didn't hide any of these.
Yeah, but I hate giving out false information anyway. It's so hard to keep that straight. Um, but what I'm going to say is, you don't really have a success here, but the aberrations lore makes it so that your occultism crit fail doesn't lead you astray. You think that it must be some sort of aberration, but that's all you know. It's just so alien to you.
Really weird. So that's 2 actions from him. I guess the third is oh, I didn't mention this before, and he doesn't normally walk around like this, so I'll use the third action to draw out the book, the Whispering Reeds. He's like, what in all the hells am I looking at? He starts flipping through pages.
All right. Okay. So you pull it out as your third action. Okay. Augrael.
All right.
So Augrael, you
Augrael.
start your turn. Hold on. So you start your
Oh, yeah.
turn within 20 feet of the creature. So I'm gonna have to ask you to roll a will save. Wow. Look at that. Crit save. Well, um, I guess as that creature comes close, you find yourself somewhat like paralyzed for a brief moment, just kind of like staring at it in horror. Again, it just looks so alien that even for an undead um a Darklands dweller like yourself, this is just really hard to comprehend, and you feel like this mind fog that's confusing you there for a brief moment, but you shake it off and it's your turn.
Okay. He's gonna start with a recall knowledge also, wanting to know what this thing is. You
Okay.
said occultism.
Yep. You don't know. Yeah, it's
Okay.
again, you're glad that you can think straight, but you have no idea what this is.
Okay. He will. He's gonna shield and he'll step up, in the corner right here, and do a shield cantrip.
Okay. The creature keeps pushing forward here. This is essentially difficult terrain until it fully emerges from that hallway. Kind of pushes that table aside a little bit, but there's enough room for it to stand comfortably. And now, so you see that it has these like almost like tentacle-like appendages. Um, let me see. Yeah, in one of them it's wielding a wand of some kind, but in the other one, um, it's actually wielding a longsword, and it like awkwardly moves the back part of its body with that little tentacle appendage to its jaws, and it starts drooling this thick ooze like um saliva, and it dribbles that onto the weapon, and you can only assume that that's not good. And so that was action 2, and then action 3 is picking one of the targets here. I mean, it has seen you fight before, so I think it would assume and like taken notes and all that stuff. So I would think that it knows that Ottardo is the one that's keeping everyone else alive. So it's gonna target Ottardo, and then try to strike you with that longsword. Hitting with a 31?
Yep.
Okay. So that is 9 points of damage. And
Uh, is it just that? Just 9 points?
well, that's the weapon damage. And then
Well, he's going to shield block that,
okay.
and
Um,
that leaves him unscathed.
okay, so if you take no damage, then the poison shouldn't trigger too. That's right. Okay, yeah, so you just block the longsword. And maybe you see like some of the poison spray past you, but no wound, no poison. Ottardo.
Okay. Well, Ottardo will, as usual, raise his shield, uh, step towards the creature, and attempt to return a blow.
Hold on, sorry. I always forget these start of turn stuff. Because you are also standing so close to it, when you start your turn at the very beginning, you need to do this will save.
Okay. Uh,
And you fail. So you're yeah, taking this monstrosity in for a few moments really starts making your brain feel like it's being taken for a ride. You're confused by the mind fog that's settling in on you. Okay, hold on. All right, so basically that happens when you're down here.
yeah. So
And now
roll
the
back. I would roll
well,
back. I would roll back, raising the shield.
yes. Now the funny thing is that normally we would just have the confused condition, but you feel like even in your confusion, you get the sense that this thing is able to have some degree of influence over you. And
Oh no.
you're hold on. Target is a confused creature. Okay. And it chooses, let's say it's 50-50 if it chooses Soma or Lucca. So I'm going to say 1-2 is Lucca and 3-4 is Soma. Okay, so you can do a will save, Ottardo,
Okay.
trying to resist its influence, and you succeed. Okay, so we instead of you needing to follow this command, we will determine it randomly. Okay, so you don't have your wits about you. You attack wildly. You are off guard. You don't treat anyone as your ally, and you can't delay, ready, or use reactions. You use all your actions to strike or cast offensive. Blah blah. Targets are determined randomly by the GM. Okay, so then I guess I will do again. 1-2 is Lucca. 3-4 is Soma. Okay, so you strike at Lucca.
Okay.
That should hit. That should hurt.
Okay, you went too far. See what you did to Sir Ottardo. He swears vengeance against you.
Well,
I
that
always knew you were going to stab me in the back.
this is not a stabby weapon.
Yeah.
So
So
that was one action.
yep. Let's see if your targets. Okay, so for each strike, we will determine. Yeah, that makes sense. So once again, 1-2 Lucca, 3-4 Soma. All right, this one goes to Soma.
What's mean about this? I wasn't with them. What was their idea?
And once again, Lucca. All right. So Ottardo starts swinging at his friends. Soma, your turn. And sorry, like I said, I always forget. That's a will save to start with. All right, so you also feel that there's this sort of mental load, but you manage to see through the mind fog.
I suppose I will recognize that this creature is the source of the mind fog, right?
Yeah, that should be.
Yeah, and so like someone will raise your hand with conjured loot in it and point at this thing, saying, like, you're the source of this. Now prepare. And well, I will cast paladin with all my free actions. That would be the magic missile for maximum.
All right, and so if you call out to it, it like raises its head, kind of sitting there like a snake and tilting its head slightly, looking at you. And it doesn't seem to understand you, but it seems to like just curiously observe.
Yeah, that's magic missile from third spell slot. Make it 6 darts.
All right, shoot.
1. Five.
Okay. Right. So there's 2, 4, 5. 2, 4, 5, and then 2, and then 4, and then 5. That is 6. All right, so this barrage of magic missiles rains down on the creature, and it gets hit by it, and it's clearly injured, and it seems to like recoil from the hits, but it still is just kind of curiously watching. Lucca.
Quick question: is Inspire Defense still running?
Yes, it will going for next 2 rounds. It's going right now. I've just prolonged the effect in the effect sheet. Is for Soma.
Let's see. Lucca's just gotten.
Just have to make the save, not to be that guy, but
Thank you. Yes.
Stop helping.
Hold on, I'll prompt you. There it is.
oh no.
You do feel this mind fog settle in, and you find yourself being confused.
Can I hero point that?
Yes, you can.
I feel like that's a bad one.
Good call.
Yeah.
So maybe you feel it encroach the mind fog, but it. Oops, there he goes. But you managed to shake it off through your hero.
Okay. Yeah, so Lucca just gets smacked in the back by a warhammer. I imagine a couple of bones go flying. And he just turns around, and he's like, "I always knew this day would come," but he looks at Ottardo and sees not like the determination to slay undead, but like confusion on his face. He's like, "Oh, this again." And he is going to try to dispel it. He's gonna cast Dispel Magic.
Huh. Behind a spell or effect.
I assume this qualifies as an effect.
It's definitely an effect, but it doesn't have any magic traits. So I guess you realize that it's not working.
It needs to have the magic trait. It
I
does
mean, it
say
would,
one
yeah.
spell. It does say one spell effect. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. It only has the mental trait. So
Okay, then
I don't
then I don't
think
think it would work.
Yeah.
Well, that's a waste of a spell slot and 2 actions.
I mean, you can dispel the the rolling anthem or dispel defense now, I guess. That's probably
Well, I think I get to choose what effect, and if I realize there's no effect, I'm like, I'm not going to dispel the helpful things.
it's
So
not like 1E where you just dispelled from the highest caster level down. It specifically
yeah.
says you target one effect.
Well,
Um,
if you can't target it, doesn't that mean that you can't cast it?
Yeah, but do you? Well, that's a good point.
Oh, that's interesting.
Targeting is part of those 2 actions. So, do we have some analogy from the martial arts? Like if you had if you wanted to take a shot, but you can't target, I mean, you would just know. I think
how
you. I
about
think that, yeah.
how about the actions are wasted, but the spell isn't cast? The slot
I like
isn't
that.
used
Yes,
up.
that's the best way. Yep, I like that. Let's
Like
do that.
he's trying to perform the magic. He's like, the magic's not working,
Exactly.
and
That's
then
exactly right.
no spell goes off. Okay, so with 1 action left, Lucca is just going to he's like eyeing Ottardo warily, like not sure he's gonna continue to lash out at him. He's going to just back away from this scenario. Probably up over here and like up these stairs to get away from Ottardo. Maybe, yeah, let's go over here.
Okay.
He's like, he's not
Augrael.
in his right mind.
Augrael's,
Augrael,
he's...
yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, you are. I was just going to say that you already saved, so you feel immune to this.
Okay, awesome. He's panicking a little bit because he sees Ottardo swing at Lucca. He's like, I don't know where his soft spots are. But he will, instead of he's like he can't flank with Ottardo, so he's just gonna swing with the poor bastard. Even though he won't have sneak attack. Oh boy. He'll swing one more time, just... Oh my goodness.
Oof.
And then he will shield again. I can't see
Okay.
the soft spots.
And then it's the creature's turn, and this whole time it has basically been ignoring Augrael's stabby attempts, and just been focused on Soma, curiously like tilting its head back and forth. And now it's going to target you with a spell, Soma. And I will need you to save against this.
Okay. Actually, I think I would 0 points is because I kind of don't want that thing to invade my mind.
Yeah.
Take it back.
Okay. That's great. So you feel it. You feel its mental presence in your brain, and it's very unsettling. And you try your best to push back, but it is so powerful. It just kind of rolls over you, and you just feel like it's opening up your memories, and it's just going through them, um, as if it had just gotten a hold of your diary and reading your most intimate thoughts. Um,
Didn't know you're a princess.
Remind me that.
Okay, so that's good. And now it's it has a 1 action left. It did strike, so I guess the venom came off, but even though it didn't do any damage. So I guess it's just kind of like as it's uh, as it's sifting through Soma's thoughts, it just kind of brings up that blade again and dribbles more venom onto it. And then it's Ottardo's turn.
Is confusion ongoing? Does he get a save?
Yeah, the confusion wears off now. You're no longer confused.
Okay. And save at
But,
the beginning?
sorry, but because you haven't actually saved, we're basically gonna do another will save.
Okay.
See if the condition persists. But this time, this time you're resisting the mind fog.
Okay. So he is going to step forward and swing at the creature. Miss it. He's going to try again.
Okay. Oh yeah, and the second one connects. And you smash it for 16 points. Its body is weirdly malleable. I mean, it is solid, but it just kind of seems to the energy of your bludgeoning attack just seems to sort of dissipate a little bit, so not all of it comes through. And that's your turn, I believe.
Yep.
Soma.
Well, someone doesn't feel very nice from this. So we'll have to figure out how to play this one back, and I don't think she can even conceal the way her thoughts turn. So she will just have to glare at this thing and then like she will get like the idea and his creative like thing. Hey, you probably saw that one, so this trick, so have a taste of it, and I will use my last third level spell to try and slow this thing.
Okay, let's see. It's 42 save.
Yeah.
That's a success. So it is slowed 1 for a round. Third action.
I'll shield myself.
Okay. Lucca.
Yeah, Lucca will cast some sort of spell. Ottardo seems to be at least going after the correct target now, so he's a little less worried. Let's just do an ignition for now. I can't think of anything more clever at the moment, so. And that's a miss. Oh man. I'll just do a little third action, embrace the pit in case any more damage comes my way.
All right. Then it's Augrael's turn.
All right. In order to get this target off guard, is tumble through a thing where I could like tumble to this corner?
Yeah. It definitely is. Tumble through is actually an action. You stride up to your speed. During this movement, you can try to move through the space of an enemy, which you would have to do here. Attempt an acrobatics check against the enemy's reflex DC as soon as you try to enter its space. So that's what you would have to do.
Okay.
And that's a fail. Your movement ends and you trigger reactions as if you had moved out of the square you started in. Okay, it doesn't have any reaction, so you luck
Okay.
out. You could just try again,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. He'll try one more time, like
Oh,
maybe.
hold on. Oh, hold on, hold
Oh,
on. No, no, that's right. Sorry, sorry, I just did the math wrong.
he'll try one more time because he knows he needs to hit a soft spot to really be effective.
Mm-hmm.
So he will. Oh my goodness. Okay. So he tries a couple times but can't get through the body. Frustrated, he'll swing out. Well, it's a multiple action penalty, right? Not an attack penalty. Or is it attack? I don't
No,
remember.
there was no attack trade, so you have just your
Okay.
first
So he'll
attack.
swing with. Okay.
And that hits
All right. Oh yeah, it's so bad.
for full 3 points of damage, but I mean, better than nothing.
Yep.
But it's so little that the thing doesn't really notice or bother. It is because you so it always include in your actions. It's slowed for 1 turn, right?
Mhm.
Okay,
One
so
round.
it has 2 actions. So it has 2 actions this turn. It has cast this one. It has cast. Oh no, that doesn't actually matter. It has put some venom on its sword. Ottardo is the only one that really hurt it yet, so it's going to, except for the magic missile, of course. It's going to target Ottardo and swing its longsword at you first. That's a hit for 11 points.
Yep.
And as it strikes you, it cuts open a wound, and some of its venomous saliva gets in there, so I'll need a fortitude save. Okay. All right. How do we? There is no poisoned condition, which is always really annoying. Because can I mark you as poisoned? Here, status effects. Oh yeah. Doesn't have a poison status effect because it's not strictly speaking one. Okay, so then we'll just have to remember. All right, it struck you with the longsword once, and then it lashes out and bites, but misses. And with its third action, it's once again gonna spit on the blade.
It doesn't have third action.
It doesn't have a third action. That's right. Thanks for reminding me. So that's just it. And that's Ottardo's turn.
This turn he is going to raise his shield and then attempt to strike it.
Yeah, right. I always get confused about afflictions. Do you do your next save on your own turn or on the triggering creature's turn?
I think that for simplicity, it's always your turn.
Yeah, so the first attempt to stave off the affliction is called the initial save, which you just failed. You advance to stage 1 of these afflictions and are subjected. Oh, you should have already taken the effects of the. I thought there was one to just see what happens.
Well, it depends on the actual affliction because some have a first stage where
Yeah,
nothing
yeah, yeah.
happens.
Right, but this does have a first stage where something happens. So I guess then we need to do this first. You take 3 points of damage, and you're stupefied 1 as you feel your brain just sort of crumbling under this mind fog.
Okay.
And I guess then technically you have to roll your save again.
Okay, so the same fortitude.
critical success, which moves you 2 stages down. So you are cured, I believe. Yep. But that only removes the affliction. That doesn't remove the condition.
I'm not sure.
Removing afflictions. Apart from waiting them out, afflictions can be removed through certain uses of the skills and spells. Treat disease, treat poison, blah, blah, blah. Damaging conditions. Damaging conditions affect you when you reach the stage and last for their normal duration. There it is. For instance, if you were drained for an affliction with a maximum duration of 5 minutes, you remain drained after the affliction ends as normal for the drained condition.
But the stupefied doesn't have, or rather, does the affliction specify that the stupefied lasts for a specific duration? Because if not, I guess that it's tied to the affliction.
That's a good point. Ah, here it is. Any condition that doesn't have a default duration, such as clumsy or paralyzed, lasts as long as you're at that stage, unless noted otherwise. As to any penalties or any other effect of the stage that doesn't list a duration. You were right. Okay, so you shake off the stupefied. I guess then that's also the trade-off why it seemed harsh that you basically have to do 2 saves in quick succession, but it's actually good in a sense because that gives you the opportunity to shake off the effect altogether. Okay, but it's your turn.
Well, he took his turn. He raised his shield and missed twice.
Okay,
Big warhammer.
Soma.
Okay. So Inspire Defense ends. So in this case, I will start it again. I will just target it with telekinetic force. It's like the same chair that hit Augrael, like once again, jumps up into the air and then whacks at this worm thing in whatever mandible place it has.
As it gets bludgeoned by that, it takes some of the damage, but once again, not all of it. That's your turn. Lucca.
They seem to be starting to gain the upper hand on it, so Lucca's just going to continue blasting away with some fire and hoping for the best. No, that's the damage, sorry. Oh, man.
That's a miss.
Third action, he's going to try to intimidate it.
Okay. Yeah.
We're going to get you.
Do you have intimidating glare, or do you
Take
need to
all the
share?
notes you want. You won't be able to report back. Yeah, I have intimidating glare.
Okay.
No one's ever going to read your notes, except for us. And then we'll set them on fire. Where
Publications are meaningless.
You'll never get tenure.
God, these rolls.
But that is enough. The DC is 22. Its will DC safe is 22. So I mean, you see it like turn around and once again like look interestedly at you, but you feel like you get the sense of a little bit of of doubt. And it's Augrael's turn.
All right, can you prompt me for the tumble through again? He knows he needs to get to the soft spots to be more effective, so he's gonna try that again.
And it is an action, by the way. You can add that to your sheet if you want to. But I could prompt you.
Oh yeah,
for
I did.
it.
I guess I wasn't sure if this. Oh my.
Ooh, well, it just no added effect for critically failing, so
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
okay.
He'll do it one more time and then he'll attack. Okay. He's not feeling. He's probably too sluggish from drinking last night. This
Yeah,
will
that's a good
be
explanation.
his strike.
But use hit, yeah. Do the damage.
And is that beak? What was it called? The yeah, I won't do it now. I'll roll damage.
Okay, that's 7 points of damage that come or that go straight through. And then it's its turn again. Okay, it's been intimidated by Lucca, so maybe it thinks that there might be some truth to Lucca being very powerful. Um, and it has observed some power, even though Lucca doesn't seem to get any single spell out here. So I think Ottardo would still be considered the biggest threat. So it's gonna. I think it's just gonna try to bite you. Snap, snap. 31 to bite for 10.
So that was Ottardo.
Yes.
Okay. And well, he is going to use his shield to block that.
Okay, but as you block it, you get a tiny scratch from the bite, which is enough for the venom to potentially affect you.
There
He,
is
he,
a
he didn't get any damage.
yeah. Inspire defense it protects from 1 point of damage.
Oh, that's exactly what you needed here. And then it's gonna be 1/3 bite attempt, critically missed, and then it's Otardo's turn.
Okay. Well, the shield is doing its job, so he's going to raise it again, and he'll be exchanging blows with the creature.
That's a hit. 9 points. A little bit of that goes through.
And that's his turn.
Okay. Soma.
I think it's time to switch for the victory music. So someone will start inspiring courage this round.
Mm-hmm.
I always imagine the Rocky song as Inspire Courage. Dun-dun-dun.
It's the opening theme. Always the opening theme when we catch the second wind. I kind of want to take out a sword and run in, but I don't have actions on that, so I will just projectile him again.
All right.
The thing is, we pretty badly handled that chair, so it's probably now broken. So now a chair leg will rise up in the air and will do the piercing damage.
All right.
Yeah, feel chair leg of truth, my friend.
Okay, and you telekinetically drill the pointy, splintery chair leg into the creature's body, which hurts it greatly. You can see it like twist and contort in pain. Lucca.
I'm gonna get the last hit. Maybe.
Yeah,
Let's
right.
see. I keep trying here, but it's just not happening today. There we go.
There you go. You strike it, and 13 points of fire damage as it goes up in flames and dies. That's 40 XP for each of you.
Was
Ottardo is
it?
going to poke his head round the corner and say, "Sorry about that, Lucca."
You poke your head around the corner and see double horns sticking off of Lucca's skull. He's like, "What? Oh, oh!" It quickly deconcentrates on Embrace the Pit. Yes, as you should be. And he's gonna try to rush forward and like snatch whatever this thing was writing on before it burns.
Yeah, it's not at risk of burning because it's a writing slate and it was using some chalk. There's also the sword that it was using, which doesn't really seem to be special. But there's also a wand of some kind that it had stowed away.
Yeah, Lucca will try to snatch these things.
I believe you're able to
And,
loot it if you double click it. Can you
yeah.
loot it?
Yeah. He grabs the. Why can't I? There we go. I should click and drag. He grabs the writing slate and the wand. He doesn't seem particularly interested in the sword. Maybe he'll just like pull it. He'll just pull it out and like toss it aside in case anybody else is looking at it. But I guess his first order of business is trying to see if there's anything legible on the slate.
Let me double check your languages.
Anything in sackcloth?
Yes, Luca, you can read it. It's not in Sackfroth, but in Aklo.
There we go, the other one.
And you read comments like the one with all the necrotic flesh seems to be very mobile. The one that is wearing all metal appears to be their leader. The one that's wearing a mask is wielding spells, but does not seem to be very powerful. And
Lucca drops the slate on the ground.
just
There's nothing useful on here. There's nothing useful on here.
Yeah.
It's all gibberish. It's all meaningless, nothingness babble.
Clearly a ruse.
He turns his attention to the wand.
All right. So
What?
yeah, you see that. Oh, did you say you returned eventually to the wand? Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't entirely hear that. So we spent the 10 minutes, I assume, then? Okay.
Yeah, Augrael will be
I can
searching
try-
around, just making
yeah.
sure nothing else.
I can try to treat wounds on Lucca while we are at it. Like glue his skull back together. So their thoughts don't escape.
As Soma is setting Lucca's bones, you are welcome to try any of these rolls up there.
I think I can see that one through your eyes, but from this hole, yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah, maybe as you're actually okay. Yeah. If you're like if there's like a bit of skull fragment that went flying and you're going to glue it back in place, Suma, you might notice something odd, which is that as you like picking up the fragments, it looks like on the interior side of the skull there's something that's like etched out like words.
I suppose we don't speak the language of that.
Probably not.
What happens if I glue it wrong?
Well, don't
What
glue
happens?
it
What?
wrong.
Oh, easy.
Well, I mean, someone doesn't actually vocalize that. She will try her best to put the skull back together.
Yeah.
But she will
That
just
means-
wonder it like, like, does that like spell sound like what? What if it was in the wrong order? Oh well, okay, cool. It'll be fine.
Doctor patient confidentiality.
Yeah.
So I'm a little with the identification stuff. But when you have all of those knowledge skills, I'm kind of. I think what I'm gonna do is I'll look at all of. If you want to try multiple ones, you're welcome to do it. But I'll basically tally up the failures and successes, and then give you the final result, if that makes sense.
Oh,
Because I think like what am I gonna do if like your arcana is a crit fail, but then your nature is a success? Like what am I gonna go with? So
sure. Well, I guess. Uh, I mean, if I thought we were rolling multiple checks in the past, but if you
yeah,
just wanted,
I'm just still trying to figure out how to deal with these things. And
yeah, I mean, I guess I would go with Arcana because that's my highest score. If you just wanted to take one.
okay, yeah. All right. So in this case,
And
you are
I can use read aura as well to give myself a +2, I think, to identify.
nice. Okay, yeah. Then let's go with that. Um, but I think that makes sense because as I've said before, I find it silly to sort of compartmentalize these individual skills when all of them can help. Same with recall
Hmm.
knowledge. Like, I mean, consult my history, my society brain, but not my nature brain. Just
Right.
doesn't make sense.
Yep.
But then, what do you do if you try both of them and you have these conflicting results? So I think what I'm going to do is like every degree of success is going to be counted, and then the ultimate outcome is what is left. So if you have a crit fail and a regular success, you would end up with a fail. If you have a fail and a success, I would give you the success. So something like that.
I mean,
Or
I could also see just making one roll and then looking at the 4 ability or the
yeah,
4 skills to see which one has the highest modifier.
yeah, that's what I would have said. Because it's also not necessarily the highest modifier, it's also the DC that can change
Right,
according to
the
the skill.
the highest level of the highest degree of success, I suppose, but still based on one roll.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Okay, yeah, let's do it that way. All right, but in this case, you identify the wand as a wand of status, which means
Ooh, that makes
yeah,
sense.
um, and it's a level 2.
Where is it? Wand of status. Okay. Right. Well, this is a wand of status. It allows one to cast status, which essentially allows you to be aware of a creature's present state, such as, for example, whether or not it is alive, uh, where its direction and distance is, and any conditions affecting it. So it could be used as a method to sort of track an individual, even if they were. Oh, until the next time you make daily prayer. Wow. Okay, so it lasts all day, just automatically.
Hmm. Okay.
I
Tell what it's currently cast on, can you?
Well, I don't even know if it's currently cast. Does it still have its charge?
It does.
Right. Oh, and it's on the divine and occult spell list. So I suppose either Suma or myself could cast it.
You can keep it for.
Frankly, I have more wands than I know what to do with at the moment. But I suppose that it would be. It's not exactly something one would wield in the middle of combat anyway. So it has to be cast on a willing creature, notably. So you can't just cast it on a foe and like track them down or something. Well, is there anyone who feel well? We'll save it in case one of us goes off on our own or something. We can keep track of them. Useful.
Is
Perhaps we should.
is
Go
the
ahead.
sword any sort of magical that we wielded?
Nope. Just metal. With lots and lots what looked like acid burns, probably from all that venom.
Okay.
Well,
Yes. One problem for this dungeon is solved. I might take a deep breath with lots of relief.
yes. Well, there's a door here and stairs here, and there is that long corridor which we haven't properly explored.
So the stairs here lead up, just so you know. And then yeah, that gallery leading north and the door to the east.
Should we check the door first? I guess we know where the stairs go.
Will they go? Ooh,
The
where do they go precisely? Yes, but which part of it?
It might be somewhere we haven't checked yet in the upper level.
I suspect it's on the other side of that trap.
Ooh. We could try it then. Want to try it?
Well, we can take a look at it.
Sure. Augrael, you're our resident trapsmith, trapmaster, trap avoider.
They called me in high school.
Trapezoid.
Trapper keeper.
So you want to head up the stairs?
Sure.
All right, Augrael leading the way. So a little, yeah. I mean, you climb up the stairs for an amount of time that seems to make sense, given how, the distance between the levels that you've experienced so far, that you would make it up to the level above. And then the stairs end at a door that you check, and there doesn't seem to be any traps on it. It doesn't seem to be locked either. So I would assume you open it. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, and then I'll just move you up here. I'm gonna be a little crowded, so you're welcome to move your tokens around. Here we are. Okay, so the room, as you see it, is like medium-sized. There are large, dark, discolored patches of dried fluids that adorn the floor of this
Ugh.
otherwise oddly shaped chamber. There's a stone desk that stands against the west wall and holds tools and bottles and jars of what looks like a variety of substances.
Before we go any further, do we see any cracks in the floor where those blades might run through?
Well, Augrael hasn't seen any and keeps happily moving on and hasn't triggered anything so far.
Okay.
Lucca will give the desk a more thorough inspection.
Okay. Well, the desk has piles of parchment on it. Sorry. So, and you see, like, especially a couple of pages that have the same outline on them. Like, each one of these pages has the same sort of floor plan. And then there's various tick marks on them. And then on one of the page there would be like there would be a path that is sketched onto the paper, then it's like crossed out. And on the next page, once again, there's some couple of tick marks on in different places. A different path is drawn, but it's also then crossed out. Several of things like that. And other than that, there's also a whole lot of what looks like alchemical ingredients. To be precise, there is essentially the equivalent of an expanded alchemist's lab. And there is a total of 3 moderate glue bombs, formerly known as tanglefoot bags.
Well, these. So there's these parchments with paths mapped out and like scribbled out and then rewritten.
Yep.
And does it look like it could correspond to the trap room that we were just, or the on this
I mean,
level?
from what you've seen, because you haven't seen all the hallways connecting to it, but there's definitely that initial hallway and then the larger room. So that definitely would align with what you've seen so far of those rooms.
And do any of them look like is there like a safe route that's mapped out here, or do they all look like failures?
It looks like that's what someone was trying to figure out, but none of the pages has a path that is marked or clearly marked as a successful path. All of them seem to be crossed out eventually.
Okay.
I
Well-
wonder if we find the answer behind that door. Judging by those dark smudges under it.
Well, okay.
So is anyone grabbing those glue bombs or the alchemist's lab, which is a little bulky, so you probably don't want to bring that, but the glue bombs?
Yeah, I'll grab them. Is it okay? I'll grab it. Yeah.
So
Does
then-
Augrael's curious about who was in here, like trying to map it out? Like, does it? He compares the handwriting to the handwriting that is on that slate that Lucca said was garbage. Is it similar, or is it?
I mean, there's not really any writing. It's mostly drawings.
Oh, that's true.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to tell. Do you have what is the skill? Is it decipher script or what is it called? Anything that could be helpful here?
I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess that doesn't exist anymore. Anything related to writing. I guess that's wrapped into society, maybe.
I have
Probably the
academia
worst.
lore skill.
Let's decipher writing is a general skill thing. Oh, okay. So you use arcana, occultism, religion, or society. Yeah, then in this case it would be society.
Okay.
And hold on. Let's do this the proper way. And I'll prompt you with society. There we go. Yeah, it's just because there are no words, you can't tell if it's the
makes sense.
same handwriting. Right, but there should be a total of 3 glue bombs just to make sure you get the right amount.
Okay. Right. Do you want me to go through the door? Or you can open it.
You offered.
I'm opens the door.
All right, you open the door, and the next room is the one that Lucca knows very well as he hustled through it while the trap was triggered.
Yeah, this is the razor. This is the room, all right.
Someone like frowns, saying like, I was almost sure we will find a dismembered corpse behind this door. Although, maybe there is one.
I was gonna say there's plenty of dismembered corpses.
She like looks back into the room like these marks like maybe she did get through that one.
I mean, it would
Yes,
be
perhaps.
apparent to you that this room is essentially like if anyone would fall in that room, that's basically like a blender. If once that trap gets triggered a couple of times, so there wouldn't be like a single body left to find. It would just be split and cut and smashed and spread around.
It's like a meat grinder in there. There's a door on the far side. I mean, we, as I so keenly discovered last time, the danger seems to lie in the floor. So if we could just find some way across the room that didn't involve stepping on the pressure plates on the floor, I think we would be quite safe.
Can you fly?
Oh no! I can summon creatures which can fly, but I'm not sure that they could then, open doors. I don't know how good an eagle is with a latch. Actually, although I suppose I could summon. Uh,
I could try to use magic hand. I mean, I think I can reach it.
Magic hand. Oh, that's a good idea. I also have that wand that summons animals. You can summon a.
Someone like it just stays right on the. Oh, yeah, I forgot the word. Like at the cusp of this of the room, like in the doorway leads forward, like it grabs this wall and reaches right forward to create the ghostly magical hand that usually uses teleport and sends it right forward, trying to push or pull the door. On the other side of the room.
Is this is that level of manipulation possible?
I, I mean, it targets one unattended object with bulk 1 or less, so if the door doesn't count as bulk 1 or less, then probably 1.
And what was the equivalent of bulk again? Because a door might actually be more than that. 10 light items make one bulk. Find out more in chapter 6. Uh, t-
Is it
estimating
the
an item.
door or the knob or latch? That's...
Well, eventually it would have to move the entire door, so it could
Oh, that's
definitely. I mean, I'm not arguing that you can't push down the handle. I think that that's definitely so. If there's a trap or something that you wanted to trigger, that would work.
yeah, it has to open it. That's true.
5 to 10 pounds is one bulk. I think the doors here are heavier than that.
Could you maybe use the magic to get looped rope around the door handle, and then we try to pull it down from here somehow?
Yeah, it should be fairly yes.
But a rope is bulk L, so yeah,
Yeah.
that would be light enough.
Luca's like, this is some level 1 shit.
That's exactly right.
So
If
we
we
do
had
that.
3 ladders, we could tie them together and then. So did anyone bring rope?
I'm fairly sure that Ottardo has some on him. Let me just double check. Yep, it's in his backpack.
I also have some rope.
Okay. Um, I'll say there's a 50-50 chance that the door is push or pull. So 1, 2, it's push. 3, 4, it's pull. Okay, so your plan might actually succeed. Or you like tie I guess, a slip knot into the rope, and you have the mage hand. How long is that? Sustained. So you move it over there. With one sustain the spell, you can move it. Okay, so you move it over and you slip it over the door handle. You pull on it. It opens up the door, and you behold a room that, as far as you can see, seems to be pretty small. You would guess something like 15 by 15 feet, maybe. From what you can tell at this distance, it appears to be unadorned. You don't see any furniture or any other interesting looking features. Um,
You guys thought
but hold on. But
cross. Oh god.
but what is interesting is that you at the far end of this room. Let's see who can see this far. I guess Augrael. Um, yeah, Augrael, you can see that there's that the wall, the one that on the far wall from where you're standing, is also made of transparent stone, and you're looking right through it into the concourse beyond.
Well, there's another screen, but where does it's not over the arena.
Right. I think I have a method of progressing through the room, though it might be a little bit awkward.
I don't think that mage hand can lift you.
No. But as he pulls out a wand, he says, "But I think this can." And he's going to cast Summon Animal. And since it's a level 2 wand, he can cast he can summon a giant gecko.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a common animal, apparently, so you wouldn't believe the stuff they have in the Mwangi Expanse. Oh, look, it's got a picture and everything.
I did get the token pack.
It's so
Oh,
remarkable. It's
look at that little,
first
look at that
time I
big
can see this
fella.
creature so close. Yeah.
It's only gonna last for a minute, so, look, fellow, I need you to climb up on the wall, and then I'm going to dangle off of you, and you're going to run across the wall and run me into that other room there. Well, I'm gonna hang on to you at least.
It licks its eyes and looks at you
What is your strength? Oh, good, it's
like only a
positive.
gecko can. Yes, it has +2 strength, and it is medium size, so it should be able to carry you. And it's an uncanny climber, so it can allows it to climb virtually any surface, no matter how slick or sheer. Giant gecko attempts an athletics check to climb and critically fails. It gets a failure instead. Okay. So, oops. Uh, it never critically fails, which means it never falls. So we can. How long do you have? A minute?
A minute, yeah.
I guess then we should go round by round just to make sure that it doesn't drop you while you're still dangling from it in the middle of the room. Um. Okay, let's see. Whew. Sample tasks. Rock wall. Smooth surface. I think this would call for a smooth surface actually, but it does have a climb speed. So it doesn't even have to make a climb check, right? That's how that works. Unless it's
I believe so.
unless it is being attacked or whatever, it doesn't really have to make a climb check. Climb speed allows you to move up or down inclines. Most creatures need to succeed at athletics checks, but if you have a climb speed, you automatically succeed and move up to your climb speed instead of listed distance. And you only climb in hazardous condition, extremely difficult surfaces, and so on and so forth. Okay, so, and there's no drama in this. Basically, you hold on tight, and then it walks along the wall, chung 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 chung, and carries you over into that chamber with just one move action. So it easily moves you in there with one round. And yeah, you see that indeed the room is a rather nondescript 15 by 15 feet chamber, and the most interesting feature is the fact that this wall is transparent, and you can see out onto the concourse.
Okay, I'll throw out a quick detect magic and a perception or a search to see if there's anything else.
Okay, give me a perception roll, secret one, and the detect magic. I'll tell you after that.
All right, perception. As Lucas, I mean, yeah. So this is one round to get in here. So this is probably, I guess, the first round. He's immediately like drop down, looking around. But in the second round, he's gonna. I don't know if that's smart, actually, because I don't know. I'm gonna need this thing to get back to, so I really don't have that long. I was gonna send it back and have it bring somebody else if they want to come. He's gonna call that out really quick. Anyone else want to come over here?
Yes, some of like, we're okay, don't worry.
Okay, then I'll just do all the perceiving myself with my mediocre perception.
I imagine like Soma, like letting her eyes wander about all the body parts in the room is like, I think we're okay.
Yeah.
All right,
we've
so
already seen that Lucca can go in there and with all those blades coming out, and he can come back relatively in one piece. So I trust him. Let's see.
It doesn't matter terribly if some of my bones get separated.
Yeah. So yeah, you jump off the gecko and quickly take in your surroundings, and do you also cast detect magic or?
Yeah, which would just ping if there's magic.
Right. So there is magic. Some sort of magical effect is present in this room, and you also notice a secret door, which isn't even obvious from this side because it is in the transparent stone. There's just the finest of seam right there in the transparent stone that you would have easily missed, but you caught it.
Oh, I understand. It's precisely because of the magical aura it separates into the door as another object, so it actually outlines the secret door instead. Right? Right.
So that was the second round, essentially. So
yeah, Lucas like, that's weird, but he doesn't see anything. He just sees, well, he sees the secret door, but he doesn't see like anything else of note, and he knows there's magic, but I don't know, maybe it's related to the wall. He's gonna grab onto the gecko and he's gonna be like, all right, round the corner, let's see what's around those corners real quick. He essentially like wants to go into this hall here and just try to understand where the hell it's going.
Oh, on the gecko.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Clinging onto its neck. Like,
yep.
Very undignified.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, climb 30. And it's fast, like it's really running along those walls, and you hold on. I mean, I'm sure you're trying to keep keep your cool here, but it's terrifyingly fast, especially if you look down and you see all of those parts on the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What?
1,
where are we
2,
going?
3, 4,
you can hear Lucca's voice retreating into the distance. It's like, where are we going?
And then it just kind of like sits there on the wall, and you're holding onto it, and it just appears to be a dead end. Hold on a second here.
I mean, he's suspicious.
But
Obviously,
again,
this
right,
wall
but
doesn't just zigzag away from no reason.
exactly. And actually, from this side here, the secret door in this wall is obvious.
Okay, so there's another secret door.
Yeah.
And nothing along the way has, like, as he's been dangling and bouncing along off the wall, he hasn't seen anything else that looks like a secret door.
No.
And I assume this is some sort of like transparent stone as well, since he
Oh,
can see
sorry.
into
Yeah,
that room.
I always miss those. I need to check your line outside. Yes, indeed, there is a transparent stone along the wall of this side, which gives you a good view of those
Rooms.
chambers that you had explored, and you see that viscous black pudding that's in one of the chambers as well, just like this bubbling pool of black ooze that's filling most of that chamber. But yeah,
Okay.
this is also transparent stone.
Okay. He's like, keep going, no time to waste.
Okay, so that's round 3 was this, and now round 4. We're moving back. 3, 4, 5, 6. One action. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Two actions.
Not down this hall, up and over.
Right, and as a summoned creature that has 2 actions per turn, I realize.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So now this was round 4. And now, where do you want to go?
I want to go down the other hall, basically.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we're entering round 6.
Mm-hmm.
Five rounds behind us. Round 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you end up in this seemingly dead end, which is also has transparent stone at the end, and overlooks the large chamber where you fought that giant bone golem.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Lucca's gonna be like, all right, I think I've seen enough. Thank you. Back
And
to the entrance.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you make it out here after round 7, I believe. So a few moments later, as the gecko sits on the wall, once again licks its eyes and disappears.
Don't don't tell our bandaged friend that we did this because now he may think that we bypassed his offer of giving us the passport.
Right. Well, says Lucca, dusting himself off. I don't know. He's normally pretty dismissive to his summons, but that was a pretty cute gecko. I think he gives it a pat on the head before it disappears. And he's like, right. Well, I'm still not entirely sure the purpose behind all of the trap work. But it appears that this was an extensive network of hallways for spying on the various chambers that are immediately adjacent to the room. There's essentially a hall that runs behind several of the rooms, and there's more of that transparent stonework that allows you to watch. There's a couple of secret doors that also extend through, but not to anywhere we haven't already been. So, besides this being some sort of network of pathways for spying, I'm not sure what other purpose it might have served.
And I've just turned those secret doors into regular doors, so when you see them from the other side, you would
Got it.
see them as regular doors.
But it appears that anyone who knew about this place could easily keep tabs on whatever the denizens of those various bedrooms were.
So Bora was into that as well, huh?
Yes, I suppose. Unfortunately, didn't register anything
So
particularly special.
she was just spying on bedrooms.
Well, presumably on those who were staying there. I don't want to think about what she was getting up to, but actually, I know. I mean, Lucca he's got it as his exploration activity of detecting magic. Would he have detected magic in along any of those other corridors as well?
Well, this wasn't really exploration mode, because you were like we were going round by round. We were it was uh, second by second basically. So exploration mode is at a different pace, I would say.
Okay.
I mean, you did have actions, so I don't want to rob you of those. You only need one action to
I'm
commit.
basically just trying to determine if would all of that transparent stonework have registered as magic, or is it something specific to that one room he was in? That's all I'm trying to determine.
Well, all the sections of transparent stone, or every section where there was transparent stone when you cast detect magic, did register.
Okay. All right. So Lucca suspects that it's the stonework is magical in some way, but at least that's my guess. But I don't think there's anything else of note. At least not that I could pick up while dangling from the neck of a gecko, sprinting along the walls.
Okay, I will give you the XP for the trap because I think you've thoroughly overcome it. So that's 80 XP for each one.
Oh, but I did find all these experience points lying around.
Yes, one for each bone, I suppose.
So where next?
Uh, well, I guess we ought to go back down and check out some of the other options, right?
Okay,
There was
That
the
sounds good.
door.
let's go back down where your tokens conveniently still are.
All right, that was enough adventure for me. Someone else can take lead here.
All right, you pop open that door and you find another rather small chamber. Cluttered tools, scraps of wood, and furniture are kind of haphazardly stacked in this room, which is pretty cramped because of all that stuff. Seems to be used as some sort of storage closet.
Is I guess someone will poke into one of the crates just to see if that's a crate or something.
Sure. Go ahead and roll your perception check. Anyone who wants to do that, anyone who wants to do that is welcome to roll it. Um, there's a whole lot of stuff here. There are things like broken tables. There are 3 cots that are hopelessly tangled together. There's a dismantled clock, a brass kettle with 4 evenly spaced holes in its bottom, and 7 mustard, yellow, and moth-eaten bed sheets, just to give you an idea about all of that junk that you find in here. Just an odd collection of stuff. So it's really hard to find anything useful. However, at least Lucca finds an item, um, which is, hold on, how can I hate this. Um, Sorry, I have to figure out how to do this so that it doesn't. I guess I'm just going to give you this. You find a talisman of some kind, which looks like a grasshopper and seems to be made from some kind of with some kind of gemstones, and that is obviously magic. So as your exploration activity is detect magic too, you'd probably think of casting that again, and you notice that there's more in this room among all of that junk. More
Keep
stuff.
searching.
So feel free to try again.
Oh, my bad. I don't know why I didn't privately roll it.
That's okay. Both Augrael and Lucca, you find some more interesting stuff. Lucca finds, at first thinks that it's just a severed hand, some mummified body part. But then you notice the golden chain that it's hanging from, and you cast detect magic again to realize, yes, this is indeed a hand of the mage. Whereas Augrael, you find an iron cube talisman. And so we haven't. Is Ottardo not choosing not to keep searching? That's fine.
Well,
I'm just asking.
first he thought that maybe we had found whatever was to be found here, but this place seems to be rich, so he's gonna dig through also.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say that Lucca casts detect magic again and says, "Nope, there's nothing left here." And Ottardo just kind of finishes up the job. There's a couple of stones that were left unturned, so to speak, and finds two more items which just happen to be not magic, and they are Ichthyosis mutagens, both of them.
Fish mode.
Oh, that could be useful.
That is
Fast
exciting.
healing too. Mhm.
Ottardo, do you want this scoop? You would probably like this.
I was actually considering taking the iron cube. I think I can make use of that.
Or that's what I mean.
Yeah. You know, after yesterday, I think I can drink this mutagen and be fine. So someone will take it. I mean, she's already green. Two bottles, right?
Two of those, yeah.
Is anybody here athletically gifted?
Well, that would be me.
Besides Ottardo.
I'm okay about it.
Mostly Ottardo.
Someone smirks in her plus 12 acrobatics.
Yeah, I'm good
Yeah,
at
there's the.
acrobatics, but not athletics.
Oh, fine, Ottardo then. And I guess Ottardo is probably the only one who can make use of the emerald grasshopper. Anyone want this hand of the mage? I mean, we already have someone who can cast a telekinetic hand, right? So,
I mean, I have my own
Well, I
hand.
am
You,
trained in athletics. That's all it requires.
Well, you're probably better at jumping than me. So if you want that, yeah.
I'll take it because movement might help me out if I'm trying to get around someone.
it's only a one-time use though, so don't blow it.
He
It's a
uses it
talisman.
right now just to jump in the room.
What does it do? Jumps on me.
This is how it is.
That was cool. Does anyone make particular use of the hand of the mage?
wonder if Augrael can eat it. Well, I mean,
He's salivating. He's like, no, it doesn't look good. But he's clearly drooling
jerky. Magic jerky.
Um, yeah, I mean, Lucca can take it, but like, he, I don't know. I don't know if it's not. It's not a bad thing to have. It's just not super useful.
Yeah, I think it's just something we keep and
If you always can try to attach this to one of your hands, it will be the first flesh you will ever have.
Well, I assume I had flesh at some point.
At this
Uh,
point,
let's.
how many of your original bones do you still have?
I, I, as far as I'm aware, my skull is the only part of me that's original. I do appreciate the patch job, by the way. That could have been catastrophic, I suppose. Right, well, let me just take an action to invest this. How many invested thingies do I have?
So as you step out of the room, you notice that the transparent stone has turned opaque, and the secret door that was over here closed.
Like she will like reach behind her, like poking Augrael, trying to reach behind the corner, like Sir Ottardo, like Sir Ottardo, over here, please. And she pokes from behind his shoulder, like the door, like what closed it? I didn't do this.
Before you charge ahead here, we're gonna roll initiatives.
Okay.
Great.
Give me a second. I'm gonna roll. Yep, you can roll your own. That's fine. Let's see. Okay, so let's see how this plays out. Why is this not in here? So which one would that be? Sorry, I gotta figure this out here. This, not. This one should. Okay, whatever. And Ottardo's initiative is there. Okay. All right. So, Ottardo, you're being called by Soma to investigate, and you stride on out. But before you emerge into this sort of smaller chamber there, um, the secret door bursts open, boom, and a creature comes charging out that looks faintly like a Morlock, as you've seen them in the tavern, but it's been drastically altered using some form of technology. It looks like this, and it has
Oh,
all of these mechanical appendages which look razor sharp. You see the electricity is crackling and arcing from one needle-like point to another, and it comes charging out here, bada boom, and from here it is going to start shooting. So it opened the door with its first action, essentially, and now it is going to shoot needles from its back. Uh, Hold on, sorry. Yeah, there is somehow hidden in its body are little cartridges, magazines of some kind, um, of very pointy needles, and you see some of those flesh compartments open up, and a needle shoots out in your direction. Tardo is targeted, and it tries to hit you. Yes, for 9 points of damage. Most of this is not just the point or the piercing damage, which seems to be negligible, but it immediately shocks you as upon impact. And there's one, and then there's a second one that also hits and hurts even more for 11 points of damage. And then it's Lucca's turn.
That doesn't sound good. Lucca will step up here to get a better view. He gets a better view. And I guess his gut instinct is to fire away. Just a little ignition to get things started. I don't know what to do when I'm first to act. That has nothing to do with my leadership qualifications.
All right, and the fire just kind of smolders and doesn't seem to hurt the creature at all. And that's your turn?
Yes, I stepped and I ignitioned.
Okay, so then another one of these creatures comes charging into view on all fours. It rushes forward and once again targets Ottardo to shoot. One needle misses, a second needle just bounces off the shield, and then it's Ottardo's turn.
Okay. Well, Ottardo will start by raising his shield. Then he will stride up.
And as you step up, out of the corner of your eye, you see that there's another one of those snake-like worm creatures that's squeezing into the hallway, apparently part of this ambush.
Oh no.
Do we still see the body of the previous one?
Yeah, I just removed it so that's easier to
Okay.
keep the token
So-
straight. But yeah, it seems to be a different one.
Okay.
And you can see that it's different because this one is holding on to a book.
Okay. Well, he'll call out that we have another of the snaky things. And for his last action, he is going to attempt to strike the second Metamorlock.
Oh, critically failing.
And that's his turn.
Okay. That was Ottardo. Augrael.
Okay, Augrael's gonna, as always, start with our call knowledge.
Matt, I have a hard time hearing you. You're very quiet.
Is this better?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot better.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm gonna try a recall knowledge on these things.
All right, on these things. So we'll try Arcana, Crafting, or Occultism.
Let's see what's best. I think occultism is gonna be the best. Yeah, let's do that. Oops, that's public. I meant to do private.
That's okay. Well, this must be what the Morlocks were talking about. This must be that sort of augmentation that they all kind of lining
okay.
up for. That's what you're putting together here. They are being turned into these half construct beings that you see in front of you. They're aberrations and constructs. As such, they have all the construct and aberration traits, of course. 25 was your result, so you get to ask me 2 questions.
Uh,
Okay.
do
Mhm.
they have any weaknesses?
You can't seem to spot any.
Okay. Any immunities?
You would expect them to be immune versus bleed, death effects, disease, doomed, drained, electricity, fatigued, healing, non-lethal,
Okay.
paralyzed, poison, sickened, spirit, unconscious, vitality, and void.
Uh,
And I believe that's mostly the combined construct aberration immunities.
that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't try and inflict him with disease, Luca, like you always do. And he'll stride up.
I'm sorry, did I hear that they're immune to void and spirit?
Yep.
That may be a problem.
And with his last action, he will swing on this one with the poor bastard because he has the room.
That's a hit.
All right, and was that it? I'm guessing that was a successful knowledge check.
It was, yes.
Okay.
Nice. That is a good amount of damage, and you hurt the creature.
And that is Algo's turn.
All right, Soma.
Okay. I think we'll be normal and start preparing defense. I still have focus point, so I will try to make it lingering again. In this update, I can look up my class DC. It's very, very convenient. Last for 3 rounds now. Then Soma will move move in and
All right, so everyone should be able to add 2 rounds to the remaining spell effect of Rallying
Yeah.
Anthem, and then you don't have to.
Oh.
I
put
just
that
figured
back.
out how to do that, yeah.
Yeah.
You have the little edit the pen.
I think you can just left click on it, and it, right? Or, no, right click removes it, but I think left click adds a round. Or at least that's
It,
how it works for.
it didn't work for me. That's what I tried because I know there's conditions where you can
Yeah.
increase or decrease, and that didn't. I think what
Okay.
it works is for the degree. So like you can go from
Yeah.
super
Oh,
side 1 to 2, but not duration.
Mhm.
gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. So you can edit it instead. Use the little pencil icon and then edit it. Yep. Good.
Oh, nice.
All right. Okay, so then it's the worm snake thing creature's turn. And it is going to well, now that the ambush has been triggered, it squeezes itself out of this hallway, which is a little too tight for it. And there was one action. And action 2 is already has drooled onto its longsword to make it poisonous, and then it's going to attack Augrael. Augrael is targeted, so we'll strike with the longsword. Hit for 9 points of damage. And since I believe you're not immune to poison, I think you just get a bonus, so you still have to do the fortitude save.
Right. Yeah, I think so.
Would Ottardo be able to step into the square, or is it difficult terrain?
Which square?
The
No, that the table is there,
yeah.
so
Okay.
that's yeah. That's not even difficult terrain. That's an actual action to climb onto that table.
Okay.
Right. So Augrael succeeds on his save, so that's good. And That was action 2, and then action 3 is just a snapping bite at Augrael. Snap, misses, and then it's the top of the round with one of those Morlock aberrations, and it kind of like digs in with all fours, and it's all of its appendages sort of um, poke up and out, and its flesh opens in various places, and more of these little dart magazines surface, and then it is just shooting, spraying a 30-foot cone of these needles, and it gets to target as many creatures as it likes within that 30-foot cone, so it doesn't have to target its allies. Which means that it's Augrael, Ottardo, and Souma. All of you are being affected by this. So I'll need reflex saves from the 3 of you. Okay, so Soma made it, which means that you only take half damage of what's coming. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that could have been much worse. And that's right, Augrael and Ottardo, you should take full damage. All right, so that was that creature's turn. That's a full round, and then it's Lucca.
Okay. Well, in that long list of things that they are immune to, did I hear mental in there or not?
Not straight up mental. Nope.
Okay. In that case, Lucca is going to come forward. Let's see. Can I measure? Nope. 5, 10, 15, 20. Ugh, you guys are really taking up a lot of space. 25, 30. Okay, that's all right. So he'll use 2 actions to move, and he is gonna unfortunately get all the way up here.
Oh, wow.
Oh. And as he's doing so, he's going to say, "I think I recall something about this," and he's going to flip open the Whispering Reeds, and he's going to read out a passage saying, "And yea, though their enemies were all about them, they were cast unto the void." And he is going to activate. I think it's just 1 action, so it should be okay.
Which one?
It
You
doesn't
invoke
have a
Tale?
name for its ability, but I invoke a tale from the Whispering Reeds that parallels the situation, and create a 20-foot emanation as eerie mists and indistinct whispers rise all around me. Clusters of 7 perfectly spaced divots manifest in the ground, vegetation, and flesh of creatures in the emanation other than yourself and up to 3 creatures you designate. Obviously, designating my allies. Creatures afflicted with these divots from suffer a form of agonizing mental anguish in the form of crippling despair and take mental damage on a will saving throw, as listed there.
All right. Yeah, I'll use your prompt here. So this one succeeds. This one crit fails. And this one succeeds. So you may roll your damage.
Okay, so that is oh, it doesn't. I have to roll it manually. Okay. 60. Ooh, not great. Oh, not bad. 16 points of mental damage.
Well, this one takes double, and then this one takes half, and this one takes half.
I thought for sure
Yeah.
with a DC 27 I would
Yeah.
nail a couple of them.
Oh, that
Um,
feels pretty good.
let's see.
That's crit. That's why the crit failure was in there.
Yeah.
Hold on a sec. Hold
There's
on a
an
second.
additional effect too.
Oh, okay.
The mist, whispers, and strange divots fade away at the end of the round, but any creature that takes mental damage from the effect also takes a -1 penalty to saving throws against effects with the emotion trait for 1 minute.
Okay.
And then I'm exposed to something called the Empty Death, which Lucca knows nothing about really yet. So
Oh boy.
Here you go.
Okay. Good.
Lucca
you
continues to know
continue
nothing about it.
Do not know anything about that. I mean, I'm gonna tell you this. As you like shut the book, you for a brief moment there, you're wondering like, was this really such a good idea? But
It
then
seems
you know,
fine.
but they're like, oh yeah, I'm sure I can handle it. Yeah, that's great. That's so great. I really appreciate you using that resource because fun stuff can happen when you do things. All right. So that was a good turn. The one of the Morlock creatures right next to you was clearly terrified by that story and really, really massively affected by that. Um, and is bristling from that tail, but that doesn't keep it from also digging in its feet and hands and trying to get as many of you in that needle spray as possible. Technically, I guess it can choose the bottom left corner, which should get everyone, all four of you. So that's what it's going to do. So all four of you need to do this reflex save. Oh, wow, okay. Oh,
Oh no.
was that four? Yeah. Okay, so let's see the damage. It's a basic save, so I think you know what to do. Augrael takes no damage, Ottardo takes half, Souma takes double, Lucca takes half. And then it's Ottardo's turn.
Okay. Ottardo is going to raise his shield. He is going to swing at the Morlock.
Um, this one, yes. Okay, so you strike and you hurt, and
Uh, hmm. And he is going to push on with a second attempt to strike.
that's another hit, and that's another good amount of damage, and you smash it against the wall, and it falls apart, dying. That's your turn.
Yep.
And there's Augrael.
Okay. This one in front of it's dead. He sees this guy up top. He already knows that because I've already done a recall knowledge. I can't do it again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's just gonna swing at it. Um,
I
he
think
knows
you
it's
can
hard.
attempt again, but the DC goes up by. I don't know exactly.
Oh, to recall more information because you succeeded last time. Because if you
No, I
failed,
failed. I think.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Ah, sorry.
then I think that's it.
Okay. He is just gonna swing at it because he can't get around it to find his squishy spots, so he'll just swing at it from here.
And that seems to be easier. And yeah, you needle at it successfully again.
And then with the last action, he'll just shield cantrip himself.
Okay, and it's Soma.
Well, uh, Well, effect way. I'll put it back later. So now Soma is in very precarious position because she is in a lot of pain and she wants to share it. So she will remember how that a creature can try to invade her mind. So will oblige and will channel the pain that she was subjected right into this guy's brain. I will cast the Phantom Pain.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Let's see what's happening. A nice failure. Target takes full initial and persistent in his second one. Okay, let's see that damage.
Good, but it's persistent.
So it takes the full initial, which somehow gets reduced to no. Oh,
Oh, is it?
it is immune to mental damage.
Oh, at least he knows what I feel like.
But is this a mental? Well, it's immune to mental damage. But does that mean it's immune to mental effects?
2 seconds.
That's what I wonder.
Is it? It's immune to mental damage. You said.
Yeah.
Then it
It is
shouldn't have
immune.
taken any damage from my aura thing as well. My emanation.
Oh, and you put that in manually,
Oh,
so it
the
didn't.
raids thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's roll that back. Let me just figure out with immunity if that means any. When you have immunity to specific type of damage, you ignore all damage of that time. If you have immunity to specific condition or type of effect, you can't be affected by that condition or any effect of that type. But the sheet doesn't differentiate between those two. If you have immunity to effects with a certain trait, you are unaffected by effects with that trait. Yeah, well.
Well, I think it's kind of still thickened. It just doesn't take damage.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true because again, it is immune. It says it's immune to mental.
Mental is a trait, so if the spell has
Mental-
that trait, then it's immune to it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay. Then.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not sickened, and it should get the damage back, which I think was the only damage it took so far. Is that right?
Well, it's very bad
It
then.
also took damage. It took mental damage from Lucca, which it shouldn't have.
That's what I mean. That was the only damage that it had
Yeah.
actually taken. Okay, so it's back at full strength then.
Although
But I'll say this, Soma, you can take that spell back because if it already didn't respond to Lucca's spell effect, I think it would have been obvious that Phantom Pain wouldn't do anything.
Okay then.
Sorry for rolling that back.
Okay. If, avoid this, we'll just take it. I guess. Well, then we'll just fall to the old faithful and magic missile the hell out of this. Although I
Okay.
ran out of the spell slots, so it will be the first rank, so just 3. 1.
All right.
Yes, amount.
Okay, and then it is its turn. And I think, yes, in response to Lucca popping open the Whispering Reeds, I mean, Soma fires a barrage of magic missiles its way, but it seems to be hardly even noticing that, even though it's clearly getting hurt. But it just frantically moves the book around that it has kept behind its back, and with its 2 tentacle appendages, it even like shows its sword, pops open the book, and frantically starts scribbling in it. Um, as it takes note of the fact that what Lucca just did, seemingly very, very, very interested. And with that, I think we're gonna have to call it a day because this might go on for quite some time. So I don't want to go over by too far.